everybody? It's your girl Mika, and you're watching the Red Cup Podcast, where truth, pop culture, and politics meet. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Mika, and we're back for another Red Cup Talks because this is where truth, pop culture, and politics meet. Y'all, it's been 100 days, and I cannot believe it. All right. However, y'all know there's a lot to talk about, but I can't get to it all. So we're going to start with the funniest. We're going to leave off with the serious. But it's so much to get to. How y'all doing today? Y'all good? Y'all good? We good? Can y'all hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. What's going on, Nikki J? What's going on, Lisa? What's going on, Kenya? What's going on, Dion, Tyrone, Magnastar, your car? What's going on, Feet? That is a heck of a name, Feet. What's going on, Lord Jammer? Can y'all hear me? Let me know if y'all can hear me good. We good? All right. Cool. All right, you guys. So y'all know it is 100 days, all right? And I want to get into most of the things. The first thing I want to get into is the Democrats sitting on the steps. When I say on the steps, y'all, I mean on the steps. They were sitting on the steps singing. Now, y'all remember when they were first singing, right? I want you guys to tell me what y'all think about each song. And we're going to do this until everybody get in here. Here we go.
We build this world from love, yada-da-da-da, yada-da-da. Then God will build this world from love.
What y'all think of that song? What's up, Shay? What's up, Tamara? What y'all think of that? All right. So that was the one from just this past weekend. But here's the one from before. Y'all tell me which one is the best. Here we go.
Are you on? We'll fight against Josh. We'll fight Elon Musk. No Elon scam within our walls. We'll fight from dawn to dusk. Oh, which side are you on? Which side are you on? Tell me, which side are you on? Which side are you on? Trump's coming for our unions. He wants us all to fail. He wants us to bow to him, but we want him in jail. Oh, which side are you on? 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 They say in the capital city there are no neutrals found. You're either with the union or a scabby Musk bloodhound. Oh, which side are you on? Which side are you on? Tell me. Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Don't take that government buyout. Don't us all to.
All right, I couldn't take no more. So y'all tell me which one sounds the best to y'all. Which one was the best? All right, y'all. All right, y'all. We clowning. All right, so let's get into it. Let's get into it. So, like I said, it's been 100 days, and everybody has literally come in contact with Donald Trump, okay? And what I want to get into is really talking about how everything is connected, okay? So everybody has talked to Donald Trump. Everybody has, again, been involved with Donald Trump, all the way from the sports teams to, dignitaries to, of course, the media. And I want to get into everybody, even people that were on Donald Trump's side. All right. So I want to get into that. I want to thank everybody for coming in. It's called Which Side Are You On? That, trust me, you can't make this stuff up. I don't know how they make these songs up, but they do. Okay. So I want to get into the first one here. Let's get into some sports. So you guys know over the weekend, well, yesterday and over the weekend, Saquon Barkley was golfing with Donald Trump. And then yesterday, the Eagles decided that they were going to go, to the White House. They didn't go before when they won, but they went this time. All right. But the thing about it is everybody was up in an uproar, but they should have known that Jalen Hurts wasn't going to go. This was Jalen Hurts. All right. Jalen Hurts decided that he wasn't going to go, but he wasn't going to say anything to the reporters. Watch.
On visiting the White House next week.
Are
you planning on visiting the White House next week?
So you guys see that, right? You see Jalen Hurts just really go dead. He didn't say anything. So now the media and everybody online is talking about how Jalen Hurts did not want to go. All right. So I want to get into what everybody wanted to say about Saquon for going. Here we go.
Out Barkley, please hush. You sold out faster than a chicken dinner after church on a Sunday. You sold out faster than Girl Scout cookies in front of a Walmart. And talking about trying to honor somebody's office that's trying to erase your history is crazy. Yeah, your new name is going to be Saquon Barkley. And throwing Obama in there trying to bring validity to who you believe you are is very late.
What you guys think about that? When I tell you that's all over right now, that's all over the social medias. That's all over the social medias, including TikTok. All right. Now, I wanted to see what his peers were saying, kind of about both of them. So here is Emmanuel Ocho. I think his name is Ocho. Here's Emmanuel Ocho talking about the whole situation. Here we go.
Got out the weight room and I saw Jalen Hurts is not going to the White House. Walk with me. I know this is going to spark some controversy. The Eagles have always been at the forefront of political issues, you could suggest. Remember, 2018, the Eagles won the Super Bowl and they didn't want to send the whole team to the White House. As a result, Donald Trump, president at that time, he disinvites the entire Eagles squad. But remember, it's because the president had said that some of the NFL players were sons of bees because they weren't willing to stand up for the national anthem. Malcolm Jenkins, notably on that team. Well, cut to 2025, Eagles win the Super Bowl again. Saquon Barkley, he'd been playing rounds of golf with President Trump. He even took to social media saying, hey, I played golf with Obama. I'm playing golf with Trump. What's the issue? But Jalen Hurts, notably Jalen Hurts, who has a very all-black team, agent, black woman, publicity team, all women. Jalen Hurts said, hey, I'm not going to the White House. And now you got fans up in arms. Tell me in the comments, though, what y'all think?
So what you guys think? You guys let me know. What y'all think? I think that Jalen Hurts. Okay, I really do think that Jalen Hurts is one of them mama boys. I'm just gonna keep it real. Jalen Hurts is one of those mama boys. He's a liberal, like his whole squad. And there's nothing wrong with women, running your stuff. But I don't know if you guys know, but Jalen Hurts was actually supposed to sign with Lil Wayne, and he ended up not signing with Lil Wayne. And the reason why he didn't sign with Lil Wayne when he first started was strictly because of Donald Trump. So I want you guys to actually see this because, like I said, he was supposed to sign with Lil Wayne and Donald Trump, and it never happened. Lil Wayne, and it never happened because of Donald Trump. Okay, so I want you guys to get into this. Here we go.
Agency that Wayne oversees. That's Young Money Sports. Nicole Lynn, who represents Jalen, also left Wayne's agency to join Clutch Sports. Wayne was crushed over these developments. Wayne loves Jalen Hurts as much or maybe more than I do. For several years, Wayne has touted me on, has told me to keep an eye on Nicole Lynn because, according to Wayne all along, she had superstar potential as an agent. I also was intrigued by Nicole because I'm from Oklahoma City. She grew up in Tulsa and attended the University of Oklahoma. And of course, as you probably know, Nicole just negotiated the richest NFL contract ever for Jalen Hurts. Congrats to them both. I don't know exactly why Jalen and Nicole left Wayne. I don't. There has been some speculation that I'm vaguely aware of that it had something, maybe a little something or a lot something, I don't know, but something to do with the picture that was taken of Trump and Wayne when Wayne went to talk to Trump about that $500 billion package that was aimed at creating jobs for the Black community. That was back in October of 2020.
Which I definitely find very sad, right? So this is not a new thing for Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts pretty much is okay with the Black community not talking to Donald Trump, not getting anything from Donald Trump, pretty much going with the 92% because his whole team is, women. So he's okay with going with the 92%. He's okay with going, from Lil Wayne, okay, and somebody established to do. Now he's doing great. Okay, I'm not putting these women down or anything, but it goes to show you that a lot of these men do follow their women to the polls. They're strolling to the polls. Okay, I know Molly can attest to what I'm saying. So at the end of the day, a lot of Black people, a lot of people of color in general are forced to go over and sit with the Democrats and Kamala and Jim Crow Joe and all of them, when we could be actually sitting around people who are making things shake, people who are making things move. All right, so you guys get down in the comments and let me know what you think about that. All right, so at the end of the day, I don't think really Saquon actually cared, because he decided that he was just going to say, okay, F it. So this is what he wrote on X. Okay, he wrote, I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me see if I can pull it up a little bit. No, that I don't even. Can you guys see that? All right, so he wrote on X, some people are really upset because I played golf and flew to the White House to meet the president. I golfed with Obama, and I look forward to finishing my rounds with Trump. Take me out of your mentions and have an amazing day. Okay, and I feel him, because at the end of the day, what's wrong with being around Donald Trump? Like, it amazes me how all of these people were around Donald Trump during the 80s, 90s, 2000s. Okay, I'm a 2000s kid, and I can tell you right now, Donald Trump was in all of the songs. He was in all of the songs. And now all of a sudden it's something different. Okay, so here it is. But at the end of the day, I do think that more Black people are starting to come around to Donald Trump. And I think within these 100 days, there are a lot of people that can actually see the business that's going on with Donald Trump, especially Black folks, especially Latinos. Okay, so you guys get down in the comments and let me know what you think about that. All right. So now this was one actually that kind of blew me. Okay, and I'm from DC, so blew me means I'm upset. Candace Owens, and this tirade that she's been on lately with stuff, I understand it, but when it came to Donald Trump and Harvard, I really didn't get it. Okay, so I want you guys to see what Candace was talking about within this 100 days, and then we're going to come back and talk about it. All right, here we go.
thought that I would see a day where I would be rooting for a university above Donald J. Trump and his administration. But I don't recognize his administration right now. I don't recognize what's happening. I have a theory. I do. We were kicking around some theories earlier, me and the team, and we were going, how could Trump be such a free speech enthusiast and allowing these things to happen? Going after college universities, trying to suppress speech, while pretending that you're not suppressing speech, while pretending that you're fighting DEI. It's so messy. It's so obvious. Everyone knows what you're doing. People who are still trying to grift, I suppose, are not willing to challenge you on this, which is ridiculous, because when you are out of office, we are going to have to live with these consequences. Our children are going to have to grow up in this America. Okay. So when you threaten our speech, it's not worth it so that we can have pom-poms and go hurrah for a couple of years, then go, okay, well, yeah, now it kind of stinks because, we're getting arrested for wrongthink. We got David Friedman. Yeah, arrest him. Arrest Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens. Get them. I love it. And if you think it's going to stop with college campuses, you're out of your mind. So you better buck up and root for Harvard University in this fight.
All right, so you guys saw that. So here's the thing. I'm okay with free speech, of course. Like, I support the First Amendment 100%, hands down. However, I don't give a rat's about no Harvard, okay? Harvard has billions of dollars, okay? So that's the first thing, because I can care less, okay? Two, I don't think none of these universities should be getting federal dollars. I could be sending my kids somewhere, people could be sending their kids somewhere. Like, I don't care. So no, I don't care about them, not following whatever guidelines that the federal government gives them, because that's what the federal government does. Okay. When you're on welfare, you have guidelines to follow. It is what it is, whether you like it or not. So what is the difference? The difference is Harvard thinks that they're entitled to it. Okay. All those people there think they're entitled to the money. They think they're entitled to whatever. And I do mean whatever they want. Okay. These are wealthy people. How do you have billions in endowment, but you want taxpayer money? Right, Kelly? Yeah, exactly. So here's the thing. When you got these colleges like this, all right, they go out and sue. For what? Because they want to be able to save their money and use taxpayer money. It's all right, War and Peace. You're here. Don't worry about it. We got you. So at the end of the day, don't give them the money. Now, I understand what Candace, is talking about as far as it goes with, protest and things like that. But I also don't agree, that these students should be tearing up the building. Okay. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with it. So at the end of the day, there's a couple of things going on at the same time. Two things can be true at once. I do agree with free speech. People can protest. They have the right to do that. But I also don't believe that you get to come to this country and just tear up shit. And you don't belong here. Like, if you don't belong here, why are you tearing up things? Like, it's not your country. It's not your, no. And a lot of the times, a lot of foreigners come here and, they get to go here on scholarships and grants and things like that. That's still our money. So no, I'm sorry. Can't do it. Can't do it at all. Before I get into the next topic, let me read some of these super chats. Oh, thank you, Kelly. I got a super sticker, $9.99 from Kelly. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Oh, the ladies are showing out today. Thank you, Molly. Super sticker, $9.99. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. All right, so let's go on and move into the next topic. So the next person I want to get into, the next thing I want to get into is some of these, I would say some of these rogue judges. All right. So I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think about some of these judges lately? Like, how do you think they've been acting? Some of these rogue judges. Let me know down in the comments. So here's my thing. So you have judges like the judge that just got arrested in Wisconsin. You have one like that. You have the judges that keep writing all these stays and don't have the jurisdiction, like the district judges. So those are judges by the Congress. They're not by the people. Okay. So you have all these judges that just make up their own rules. They do their own thing. And then they think they rule the president, which is the furthest thing from the truth. So now you have some of these judges that just think, they're going to be allowed to do whatever they want. And I do mean whatever they want. But even before I get into that, I actually want to get into the impeachment because this was a central thing to me. So let's get into this impeachment.
This is Congressman Shri Thanedar. Donald Trump has already done real damage to our democracy, but defying a unanimous 9-0 Supreme Court ruling, that has to be the final straw. It's time we impeach Donald J. Trump. The court said the wrongfully deported Kilmer Garcia must be allowed to return and receive due process. Trump ignored it. He ignored the Constitution. He ignored the very checks and balances that keep our democracy intact. This isn't an isolated incident. It's part of a dangerous, deliberate pattern.
Hold on. Y'all comments is hilarious. Hold on. Wait a minute. Okay. Wait 1 minute. Wait one daggone minute. Not Aladdin. Okay, so Donald Trump did not ignore the Constitution. All right. He ignored a district court judge. So I don't understand what these people are talking about. They keep talking about a constitutional crisis. I don't even know who is this man. Harpo, who is he? I've never seen this man before in my life. They say he's from Michigan. He's a congressman from Michigan. I have to go and read up on all these congressmen because who voted him in? Somebody got to answer for this. Who voted this man in? And on top of that, how did he get past the big dog? And when I say the big dog, I'm talking about Chuck, okay, and Nancy, to just come out and say he's going to do articles of impeachment. Who gave him the permission? Okay, liberal white women, y'all have to be checked because I know y'all did this. I know y'all did this. Y'all, I know you did. I thought this was fake until I saw that it was on the news. I swear to goodness. I'm gonna let them rock, but liberal white women, y'all gotta stop this.
That's why today I introduced a resolution to impeach Donald J. Trump, outlining 7 articles of impeachment. Article 1, obstruction of justice and abuse of executive power. From denying due process to unlawful deportations, Trump defied court orders. Article 2, taking away Congress's power of the purse. Trump dismantled agencies and froze funds without permission from Congress. Article 3, abuse of trade powers and international aggression. He imposed damaging tariffs and threatened military invasions of our allies. Article 4, violation of First Amendment rights. He has retaliated against journalists, attorneys, and critics for exercising their right to free speech. Article 5, creation of an unlawful office establishing the so-called Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, and giving Elon Musk unconstitutional power over our government and personal data. Article 6, bribery and corruption. He has dismissed criminal cases and solicited payments from foreign governments and coerced legal settlements for personal and political gain. Article 7,
oh my God,
overreach. finally, and most
You get the point. Okay. Like, I can't even do it. I can't even do it no more. So, yeah, this gentleman here went past everyone, okay, everyone in the Democratic Party, and decided that he was going to do articles of impeachment. And I'm trying to figure out who gave him permission to do this. Like, I'm really trying to figure that out. So I had to dig some more to see who this man was. And this is what I saw online.
The current issues, people are frustrated, people
I want you guys to see
are
this.
fearful about what's happening with the cuts in Washington, D.C., the tariffs. The current issues, people are frustrated, people are angry, people are fearful about what's happening with the cuts in Washington, D.C.
Y'all, who put this man in office? Who put that man in office? Who did it? Who did it? He got a 1989 starter jacket. Okay. I know that drink was fly back in the day, but who is this? Who put him in? Like, I was so trying to find out all of this, and I couldn't find one thing. Okay, I can find him on here, but I could not find one thing that showed me who put this man in office. Okay, and I just want to say, y'all got to stop. Y'all got to stop just voting for anybody. Oh my God! So you guys get down in the comments and let me know, what y'all think about that. Now, I want to get into, like I was saying, a lot of the, judicial stuff. But let's get into these rogue judges and what the media thinks about Donald Trump's first 100 days. All right, here we go.
Democracy Defenders Fund, we've been involved in dozens and dozens of those cases. I think of these 100 days as like the rounds of a heavyweight championship fight. This was round one, the first 100 days. There'll be 14 more rounds. But in round one, Donald Trump's flood the zone of unconstitutional, illegal behavior, deporting American citizens, for heaven's sake, has been met with rule of law shock and awe. And he has lost again and again in court, including in these foreign abduction cases and in so many more. I'll be back in court tomorrow where we got an order protecting 6,000 FBI agents from Donald Trump and his administration's attack. Last week, we saw more than 7 preliminary injunctions and other emergency relief in 1 week alone. His attack has been intense, but he has not won that first round. The court actions have set off other reactions, massive public protests. Donald Trump and his agenda have been losing in landslide in elections, including that Wisconsin Supreme Court election. There was a referendum on Trump and Musk. Political leadership is showing up stronger and stronger now. So,
Falafel Bay, I was thinking the same thing. Cigarettes. All right. So here's the thing. 200 lawsuits. Okay. And that's because they're flooding the courts right now. They're flooding the courts, hoping that the Supreme Court will step in. All right. But that's what they're doing. They're flooding the courts, saying pretty much anything about Donald Trump. All right. These people are definitely Trump deranged. Now, here's the thing. They're talking about, they're using the Maryland man, the real MS-13, the real, killer, whatever he is, because he's definitely not innocent. All right. He got pulled over in Tennessee for trafficking. He got all these things going on here in Maryland, down here in PG County. All right. And when I tell you, if PG County, which is the blackest county ever, if PG County officers tell you that's an MS-13, that's an MS-13. All right. I said it. local ICE? Like, I don't understand what we're arguing about. He has the tattoos. They act like they don't know what this is. Y'all can look at black people every day, all day, go over to Compton and tell what it is. Y'all know the vatos over there. Okay? You know all of these people. You know what the tattoos are. You like, they know. Just like the judge with the Trinidad, right? He knew those tattoos. He knew who these people were. That's why he's smashing cell phones and things like that. Like, they know. But these rogue judges don't like Donald Trump so much to where a rogue judge decided that she was going to say that Donald Trump was locking up and deporting American citizens. Now, we know you can come over here and have an anchor baby. Everybody knows what an anchor baby is. An anchor baby is a baby when you come over here from another country, you have your baby, you go back home. All right. A lot of people in the Asian communities, they do it a lot and they go back home, like China. However, because Donald Trump is in, he's putting an end to a lot of that. That's why he wants to get rid of the birthright citizenship, because you have to be under the jurisdiction of the United States. They tend to leave that out all the time. They leave out that you have to be under the jurisdiction of the United States. If your mama is not a U.S. citizen, neither are you. However, they've been allowing this to happen. So, okay, the babies are U.S. citizens, but your mama not. And this is where all of this nonsense comes in. So I want you guys to see the sentiment online about the U.S. citizens that Donald Trump is apparently deporting. All right, here we go.
Breaking news, a federal judge raised alarm tonight that the Trump administration deported a 2-year-old American citizen to Honduras with no due process. U.S. District Judge Terry Doughty, a Trump appointee, said the child, identified in court papers by the initials VML, appeared to have been released in Honduras earlier Friday, along with her Honduran-born mother and sister, who had been detained by immigration officials earlier in the week. The judge on Friday scheduled a hearing for May 16, which he said was, quote, in the interest of dispelling our strong suspicion that the government just deported a U.S. citizen with no meaningful process. The child, who was born in New Orleans in 2023, had been with her mother and sister during a regular immigration check-in at the New Orleans Office of Immigration and Customs Enforcement on Tuesday. Now, the Trump administration said in court that the mother told ICE officials that she wished to take VML with her to Honduras. The filing included a handwritten note in Spanish they claimed was written by the mother and confirmed her intent, but the judge said he had hoped to verify that information. The judge wrote, quote, the government contends that this is all okay because the mother wishes that the child could be deported with her, but the court doesn't know that. Yeah, a 2-year-old U.S. citizen deported to Honduras under Donald Trump's administration. Now that hearing is set so the court can kind of flesh out these details and see if it is true that the mother asked for the 2-year-old to be brought with her to Honduras. But the fact that this is even a story, that we're even talking about this, a 2-year-old getting deported, is insane. As a reminder, I post on YouTube, Instagram, Substack, and more. The link is in my bio. It'd mean a lot if you checked it out.
Now, I don't know if y'all keep up with these TikTokers that do the news, but that gentleman there, all right, he was all over the TikTok at one point because a lot of the liberal girls found out that they was pretty much humping on the same man. All right, he was getting them all. All right, they were so upset because he's supposed to be a nice guy and all of this stuff, and he's doing the same thing, you know, that the red pillars are doing, that the conservative macho guys are doing. He's just nice about it. So they were dragging him at one point, okay? I think his name is Aaron Panes or something like that. But he's very popular over there on TikTok reporting the news, okay? So that is the sentiment. That is what they're putting out to the liberals. TikTok is, when I tell you, it is one of the things that millennials and Gen Z love, okay? They love quickness. So TikTok, if you can do a lot of those quick little hits like that, trust me, you're going to make it. So that is the sentiment, okay? Now, Marco Rubio decided that he was going to go on television and dispute all of this nonsense. I want you guys to hear what Mark Rubio had to say about it. Here we go.
Headline, that's a misleading headline. Okay, 3 U.S. citizens, ages 4, 7, and 2, were not deported. Their mothers, who are legally in this country, were deported. The children went with their mothers. If those children are U.S. citizens, they can come back into the United States if there's their father or someone here who wants to assume them. But ultimately, who was deported was their mothers who were here illegally. The children just went with their mothers. But it wasn't like, you guys make it sound like ICE agents kicked down the door and grabbed the 2-year-old and threw him on an airplane. That's misleading.
Yeah.
That's just not true.
Just to be clear, because I do want to get to the overhaul at the State Department, is it the U.S. policy to deport children, even U.S. citizens, with their families? And I hear what you're saying, without due process. Just to be very clear there.
Well, no. Again, if someone's in this country unlawfully, illegally, that person gets deported. If that person is with a 2-year-old child or has a 2-year-old child and says, I want to take my child with me, well, then you have 2 choices. You can say, yes, of course you can take your child, whether they're a citizen or not, because it's your child. Or you can say, yes, you can go, but your child must stay behind. And then your headlines would read, U.S. holding hostage 2-year-old, 4-year-old, 7-year-old while mother deported. So the parents make that choice. I imagine those 3 U.S. citizen children have fathers here in the United States. Yeah. They can stay with their father. That's up to their family to decide where the children go. Children go with their parents. Parents decide where their children go. Right. The U.S. deported their mothers who were illegally in America.
A northern Wisconsin judge is threatening to not hold court unless she gets specific guidance from fellow judges on how to handle incidents of ICE agents trying to make arrests at the courthouse. That threat follows this moment from Friday when FBI agents arrested Milwaukee County Circuit Judge Hannah Dugan. Dugan is facing federal obstruction charges, accused of helping an undocumented immigrant avoid ICE agents who showed up to arrest him at her courtroom. Dugan's arrest prompted a bold move from Sawyer County Circuit Judge Monica Isham. She sent an email to judges across the entire state asking for help on incidents with ICE, or she won't hold court.
And so TJ Dysart is continuing our coverage tonight outside the Milwaukee County Courthouse this evening. TJ?
And Blake, we've been working all day to obtain that email in its entirety, but multiple sources, including 2 Wisconsin judges, confirming they received that email. Now one state lawmaker is calling on Judge Isham's resignation.
How do you have a boycott from court? How do you have a boycott from court? What's up, Shadow? What's up, Shane? What's up, Mr. Robinson? What's up, Eric? How do you have a boycott from court? So you're stopping everybody else's due process because illegals who are not supposed to be here, because they don't get the same due process. Like, you cannot make this stuff up. How can you boycott the court? Like, all of these people, I swear to goodness, should be removed. I've never seen any of this. Even when they were doing all of this to Obama, okay? When Obama was doing this immigration stuff, they were messing with him, right? But they never went this far. They never went this far. It's like they made sure, because he was a Democrat, that they stopped at a certain point, because they didn't like what Obama was doing either with the immigration. But they stopped at a certain point, right? Because Donald Trump is not for the globalist agenda. So they don't want to give this man the leg up at all. And I do mean at all.
It's the arrest sparking protests across the state. The image of Milwaukee County Judge Hannah Dugan in FBI handcuffs could have a sweeping impact on a courtroom in Sawyer County, nearly 4.5 hours north.
I just thought it was inappropriate, frankly.
Sawyer County Judge Monica Isham sent an email to judges statewide threatening to not hold court without specific guidance on how judges should handle incidents with ICE agents. The contents of the email confirmed by 2 judges who tell 12 News they received that message. Can you just play hooky like that? State Senator Romaine Quinn reacting to the email Monday.
She was willing to not hold court, to not do her job. And what does that say to the victims that are waiting for justice for other issues in Sawyer County? You're not going to hold court because you're mad about another judge's actions in Milwaukee?
It's unclear if any judges responded to Isham's request on guidance. In Milwaukee County, Chief Judge Carl Ashley is working with other county officials on a policy to handle future cases where ICE agents show up to arrest someone in court. Meanwhile, Senator Quinn is calling for Judge Isham's resignation if she follows through on her threat.
We've never had a scenario where someone would willfully just not hold court, intentionally not do their job. So at the end of the day, the lower judges still have to respond to higher ups, the chief judge, and then I think the Supreme Court ultimately would arbitrate any kind of issue like that.
So, TJ, do we know if Judge Isham is still holding court?
Well, it appears that way for now, at least. Online court records.
Child, you can't make this up. Like, you can't make it up. You cannot make it up. How is this woman not being removed? They're talking all of this about Pete Hegseth, and like anytime it's Democrats, they don't get removed, they don't get punished, they don't get anything. They just get to keep it on. And they're putting up a good fight. They get protests, they get praise. There are people praising this lady right now. Like, it's wild. But she gets to do that. It's so wild. But we're gonna move on. I want to acknowledge some of the super chats. Here we go. Mr. Robinson, thank you. $10 super sticker. I appreciate it very much. Thank you. $10 super sticker from Cool Brother Phil. Thank you so much. Falafel bag. Hey, do you like that food? Falafel? Do you like that food? I just had to ask. Let me know if you actually like it. Congrats on the 10K. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. And then we have Taurus Prince, 516 with the $5 super chat. Are they going to sit on their tails for 12 hours like Corey? So I played Corey at the beginning. Okay. They were out there singing all their, I don't even know if those are church songs. I don't know what the hell those are, honestly and truly. The Democrats got a new song. I'm not going to lie though. I was singing Which Side Are You On for a while. I was singing that for a while. I'm not going to lie. I'm not even going to front on that. And it was because it was fun to taunt people with that. Okay. All my little liberal friends and family members, I was taunting and taunting and taunting. Okay. So now I want to get you guys' opinion on what's happening with Amazon. Okay. Because Amazon, to me, just did something really sneaky. But I want you to hear what the White House had to say first, and then we'll come back and talk about it. Here we go.
So it was reported this morning that Amazon will soon display a little number next to the price of each product that shows how much the Trump tariffs are adding to the cost of each product. So isn't that a perfect, crystal clear demonstration that it's the American consumer and not China who is going to have to pay for these policies?
I will take this since I just got off the phone with the president about Amazon's announcement. This is a hostile and political act by Amazon. Why didn't Amazon do this when the Biden administration hiked inflation to the highest level in 40 years? And I would also add that it's not a surprise because, as Reuters recently wrote, Amazon has partnered with a Chinese propaganda arm. So this is another reason why Americans should buy American. It's another reason why we are onshoring critical supply chains here at home to shore up our own critical supply chain and boost our own manufacturing here.
Is Jeff Bezos still a Trump supporter?
Look, I will not speak to the president's relationships with Jeff Bezos, but I will tell you that this is certainly a hostile and political action by Amazon. And Secretary, if you have anything to add.
Yeah, I would also add that the bringing down the terrible Biden inflation has been a priority for the first 100 days of the Trump administration, and President Trump has done a great job of leading that. Since January 20th, interest rates, mortgage rates are down, gasoline and energy prices are down. We're expecting the further decreases. And as Caroline said, the big tax on consumers that goes unnoticed is deregulation or regulation, and we are deregulating and bringing that down. So, from a household income point of view, we would expect real purchasing increases. We've seen them over the first 100 days, and we would expect that to accelerate. We are doing peace deals, trade deals, tax deals, and deregulating. And the deregulation is a longer lead time, but I think by the third and fourth quarters, that's really going to kick in.
All right, so y'all saw that, right? And so here's the thing about Amazon. Almost, I want to say almost 80% of what Amazon sells is from China. So it doesn't shock me that China and Amazon are in cahoots. Okay. Now, if your stuff is going to have a tariff sign or notice or whatever on it, right? So you can realize that it's tariff. Okay, cool. That will allow me to actually go and say, I want to buy American. That's what I would do. I would just go ahead and buy American. Because at the end of the day, I mean, what are we really doing? If China is going to keep doing what it's doing, we might as well just buy American. That's what I would do. I would say, okay, every time I see a tariff, that will tell me that this is a Chinese item or this item is from China. It's from China. So I'm going to go to a seller that is that's a seller here in America. I don't see nothing wrong with that. I think that's probably the best course of action, because otherwise China thinks that it can just do, whatever. Right, Carr? Buy in the US. Reevaluate your right. Do what Canada is doing. Right? Canada right now is, calling themselves fighting the power. And by fighting the power, they are literally putting themselves in a hole, because they're so Trump deranged that they went and put in the same people that messed it up the first time. Okay? They're so Trump deranged, they want China to work instead of America. All of these places are Trump deranged, every last one of them. Every last person we're talking about today are Trump deranged. Period. They're all Trump deranged. Okay? Including this next person. Okay? Y'all call her Letitia James. I call her Respucia. I want to get into what's happening with Respucia right now. Okay? Because there is a lot happening with her. Now, if you don't know, Respucia is definitely in some trouble. So I want to get into a little bit of what's happening. Here we go.
Quickly here, Sam, how cooked is Letitia James? Should we expect the handcuffs that we've seen on various high-ranking Democrat officials across the country happening last week? Should we expect that? I mean, will we actually get the handcuff moment here with Letitia James?
I don't know what will happen. I can't predict the future. Yeah. But all I can say is whether or not they handcuff her, she's guilty. The evidence shows that she's guilty. Most likely they are going to handcuff her, and most likely they are going to arrest her, and most likely they are going to indict her. But irrespective of that, the documentation speaks for itself. And if they can't bring a case against them, shame on them. They suffer the humiliation. I stand behind all of the research that I've done, and all of the research that I've done shows that she's guilty of mortgage fraud, violating New York State financial disclosure statutes, mail fraud, wire fraud, whatever you want to call it. I'm not a lawyer, but she is guilty. She is guilty of signing documents that contain false information that she financially benefited from, and she can't get out of that.
So if you guys don't know who the gentleman is speaking, he is actually the person that found all of Letitia's documents. Okay. He's actually a criminal. Okay. He's actually a felon. All right. And he's, he went down for fraud and all of that stuff. And now he, has his own businesses. When the government can't beat you, they'll just join you. All right. They'll use people like this. However, this gentleman here found all of Letitia's documents. And I do mean every last one of them. To the point where Letitia had to go and hire the same attorney that Hunter Biden hired. This tells you how deep this goes. Okay. Why is Letitia James having the same people that Hunter Biden has? You can't tell me these people aren't corrupt. Because I don't know how, I really don't know how this happens. How does Letitia James end up with, with being able to say, okay, I'm gonna get the same attorney that helped Hunter Biden get off with that laptop that had all that nonsense on it. It's because Letitia James and the Democratic Party are all in cahoots. I'm telling you, they're all in cahoots. So I also want to get into what they were saying about the ethics committee with Letitia James, because they're trying to take her license away before this case even comes up. Here we go.
So Tish James is lawyered up. She's hired Hunter Biden's old attorney to represent her in a story you first heard right here on The Angle. Fox's Christina Coleman has all the details. Hey, Christina.
Hi, Charlie. Great to see you. This is a major follow-up in a story first broken by The Angle. High-profile attorney Abby Lowell is the lawyer representing New York Attorney General Letitia James. And today, he sent a letter to Attorney General Pam Bondi arguing the Department of Justice should reject a request to prosecute James over allegations of mortgage fraud. He says the criminal referral against James is improper political retribution and lacks any credible foundation. In the letter, he said, quote, the stunning hypocrisy of President Trump's complaint that the Justice Department had been politicized and weaponized against him is laid bare as he and others in his administration are now asking you to undertake the very same practice. He sent this letter after the Federal Housing Finance Agency referred Letitia James for potential criminal prosecution over alleged mortgage fraud, something James strongly denies.
The allegations are baseless. The allegations are nothing more than a revenge tour.
Officials within the Trump administration say differently. They accuse James of using falsified records related to property she owns to receive favorable loan terms. And while her attorney is accusing the Trump administration of weaponizing the DOJ, some legal analysts and many Republicans question James's use of the justice system.
This is a person who prosecuted Trump for everything short of ripping a label off a mattress.
And that's facts. So here's the thing. Letitia James is basically a person that Donald Trump knew was just coming after him because of the Biden administration, okay? Because the Democrats did not want Trump to win. And it didn't work. And the crazy part about it is she has skeletons in her closet, which is absolutely ridiculous to go after someone when you have skeletons in your closet. It makes absolutely no sense, but she did it anyway. She did it anyway. Crazy. So with all this being said, okay, Letitia James, Candace Owens, the media, Marco Rubio, having to defend deporting U.S. citizens. These judges, they're going rogue. They're not showing up for court. Judges are getting wife beaters, letting them out the back door. TDA is hiding them. Judges are hiding TDA members at their house, smashing cell phones. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. Cory Booker and his girlfriend, Hakeem Jeffries, are both sitting on the steps, sitting on the dock of the bay, singing the songs, right? All of them are doing all of these things. And at the end of the day, Donald Trump is still the president. All right. And today he decided that he was going to do a rally in Michigan. So Fox News decided to go and ask people how they felt about Trump's first 100 days. So I want to end with this, you guys. Here is Fox News talking to real Trump supporters, okay? Because CNN and all of them, they don't be talking to Trump supporters. But I want you guys to hear this. This is Fox News talking to real Trump supporters. Here we go.
What is the number one thing that you think President Trump and his team have done?
Secured that border.
Secured the border, a lot of that. What do you think?
Doing tariffs, he needs to get those things going, and getting the people out that do not belong here that are MS-13.
And with these tariffs, is anybody worried about higher prices in the meantime while they...
We're excited. We want people to be safe.
Excited. How old are you, young man?
I am 18 years old.
Have you ever been to a Trump rally before?
I have. This is my second time.
Second time? Wow. I'm guessing a lot of repeat customers here for Trump rallies.
I'm Canadian, so if you want to know, Canada 51st state works for me.
Wow. President Trump, you hear that if you're watching? We found one. And thank you. We're live right now. What do you guys think is the best thing the Trump administration has done so far in the first 100 days?
Our border.
The border.
Immigration law, baby. Get them out of here.
And Doge, huh? Tariffs. Are you guys going to miss Elon Musk when he's gone?
Absolutely. Doge will still be here.
Okay, all right. And what do you guys think? First 100 days, what do you think? Number one thing.
Couldn't ask for better. Couldn't ask for better.
All right.
Trump. Love Trump. Congrats.
All right. Thank you.
Selfie.
Yeah, we can take a selfie, sure. Well, as you can hear, yes, we will do that after we are live. So, Sandra, by far, the number one thing that folks here are pleased with is what Trump has done at the border.
I think she's getting the selfie whether she.
Are we here? Let's take a photo.
I think she's getting it whether you stop or not.
That's the fact. She was getting that selfie. So look, you guys. So here's the thing. Donald Trump, at the end of the day, is the president of the United States. They can keep trying all this lawfare. They can keep trying to impeach him. I don't know. They can keep trying to block him in the courts. All of this. It's not going to work. And that's because, just like with everything else they tried, it isn't meant to be. Donald Trump is actually about to turn this all around. I can't wait till he gets to the Fed. I can't wait till he gets to these taxes, because I'm telling you, I didn't get my glasses. I just moved something closer. But they coming. However, I'm just telling you guys, Donald Trump is on a mission, and I can't wait until he tears it all down, because it's all fraudulent. It's all fraudulent. And at the end of the day, we have to protect the republic. I don't know why they keep talking about a daggone democracy. I don't even know why. The Constitution is a republic. This is a republic. All these damn taxes, everything that they're doing is BS. All of it. We shouldn't be paying these high taxes. We shouldn't be paying all of these property taxes. Like, none of this is in the Constitution, but we're agreeing to it. And I do see Trump chopping at it bit by bit. I see different states. I think it's Mississippi. Yeah, Mississippi. And there's one more state that just did it. And then New York City is actually implementing something with taxes. So when I tell you guys, this is actually going on. And then you got $15 billion in tariffs. I'm telling you, Donald Trump is about to change this whole entire system back to how it's actually supposed to be and what we're actually supposed to be doing. They don't want that. So they're going to keep fighting them. But we just going to keep doing lives and keep doing videos on them, because a lot of that stuff is funny, especially when they start singing. That's why I had to open the show with that, because I'm telling you, it's hilarious. So you guys get down in the comments, like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you think about all of these people. Let me know what you think about, Hakeem Jeffries and his girlfriend sitting on the dock of the bay at the Capitol singing Jebediah, something like that. However that song went. They were singing that. Let me know what you think about the road judges. Let me know what you think about little Marco Rubio actually doing a pretty good job. Okay, little Marco Rubio is actually doing a pretty good job. All right, so he's getting it done. I must say I'm surprised because I wasn't a big fan of putting him in the cabinet. So proving me wrong. All right. But you guys let me know what you think about that. And let me know what you just think about the 100 days, right? Like it's not even that long. They gave Jim Crow Joe and Kamala all this time. And the first 100 days, they're acting like it's been 8 years and Trump has done nothing. Like you can't make it up. However, thank you guys for watching. It's your girl Mika. I want to thank your car. I want to thank Qtar. I want to thank Eric, Scoop, Mr. Robinson. I want to thank Shane, Tyrone, Dion, JH, Artifacts, Junior, Molly, Dion, Nick J, War Peace, Tariq. All right. And if I missed anybody, Carr, if I missed you, I apologize, but thank you. And last but not least, thank you for the 10,000 subs. We got there very fast. I appreciate it. Like, I'm telling you, I appreciate it so much. Thank you guys. It's your girl, Mika, and I'm out. Peace.